away.
We're wanted men.
I have spoken.
Now I'm recording.
Okay. Now I have a air vent right next to my desk here, so the air kind of goes up and then across the desk. So when my legs and shorts are underneath it, it's pretty cold. So that's why I have my granny blanket with me.
Oh, well, it looks very, very.
My grandma
Granny.
actually made it. That's why. So it's fitting.
Okay. What are you drinking, man?
This is an old fashioned because I'm a classy kind of guy. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I am tired. I don't know what. I slept till like 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning, and I'm beat. I'm yawning. It's only 8:30. I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired, but that was just because I had a soda, and that just exhausts me when I have a soda.
Does it really?
Yeah, I had a sugar crash.
Oh.
That's why I stopped drinking soda for a while. You can see how well I stuck to that because I had soda today. So
There was soda, so why not drink it?
right. I didn't see that there was that new Coke Zero, which is the Coke Matt. No, wait. What was the black color can?
I think that was that new Coke Zero or Coke Zero or.
But that was a different brand at one point, right?
Yeah, it was Coke Zero, and then they changed it to something else. Or
So the new thing.
right.
The new thing I don't mind because that actually tastes sweet, not like the previous version of Coke.
Well, I guess I'll have to try it because I could stand the Coke Zero if I was trying to like have 0 calories or whatever, but
Yeah.
it had that nasty aftertaste. So maybe this is better.
Yeah, and there's no aftertaste. So I think they have improved on the formula.
Awesome. I'll have to try it.
Yeah.
How'd you enjoy the meetup today?
Oh, we're just gonna jump into it.
What do you want to talk about? I mean, there's
I don't
there's a
know.
little bit of news.
There's a little bit of news.
What kind of news is there to talk about?
Well, did you pick up anything this week? Let's go into that first.
No, and I didn't win anything at the meetup, so I didn't pick anything up.
But you got some auction stuff.
Oh, that was just
You got the box O trash.
It was a box of
No
trash.
offense. No offense.
It really was. My wife bid 20.
It's more like
yeah, she's like
it's a box of things you don't need.
Right. And she bid like $10 on it. I was like, crap. And then she bid $22 on it. And then I was like, what the hell are you doing, babe? And
Your face right now.
I really have to watch what I say because yesterday she was talking to me and she goes, the podcast. And she was talking about a podcast. And I went, are you talking about my podcast? She went, yes, your podcast. I was like, you listen to the podcast?
Oh, no.
So now I found out she listens to the podcast. So
This podcast is no longer a safe space for you.
it's not.
You're going to have a second podcast where you talk about the things you can't talk on this podcast,
Yes, I will.
like an after show.
I hadn't even really gone through that box yet, but it was a box of crap. And then we had some guys that wanted stuff out of said box of crap. And she made a deal with another lady at the meetup because they had split other lot. And
Yeah.
I don't know. So I ended up only paying like $10 for the box of crap because of the deals we made. Then I got embarrassed because I had no clue what the monsters from Phantom meant. Not even, what was it? See, I don't even remember what movie from the prequels, whatever those monsters were that were in there. And
Yeah.
Jason TK still was busting my balls in the group that I didn't know what the monsters were called. And I'm like, dude, I suck at names. Just be glad I remember yours.
Not that you're bitter or anything. Scrumdiddlyumptious crumb.
Right. Yes. That was a heck of a deal, man.
$80 for $85 for Java, the little pipe thing in the bag, and Salacious Crumb in the bag.
Right. The Java was open, but it had the bag.
Yeah.
So
Still.
dude, I gotta give props to Jerry. I don't know if he listens to the podcast, but him doing that was freaking amazing idea. Actually, it was the guy from wherever you guys met up with, but he's the one that brought it to the club. And
yeah, Matt
yeah,
from the Ohio group.
so that was a good plan to everybody, get rid of crap you don't want and make money for the club and Choa and everything. So we made a good chunk of change for the club. It was awesome.
Yeah, we talked to Matt, who's the president of the Ohio club. He came over to Narayan's house. It was Jerry, myself, and Narayan, and we're just like, here's somebody who's been in a collecting club for 25 years. I think it's 25 years. And we can just pick his brain. And he was just telling us things that work. The best thing they do are these auctions. The worst thing they do are like the t-shirts and the patches and the pins. That's the stuff that doesn't resonate unless it's something like what the Pennsylvania club does is a coin every year. So they have an ongoing series. So if we were to get some sort of ongoing series for the Georgia club, that might be more beneficial than a one-off pin, according to Matt.
I kind of like the idea with the coasters, but we got to get that off the ground, or the idea of having something to get people, a carrot to get people to come to the meetups.
Yeah. Well, the coasters are supposed to be for the 5th anniversary.
Okay.
And that starts in May of 2022.
Oh, Jesus.
We have time.
We have time.
We can get through the holidays.
All right, good. Cool. I still can't believe it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
That's my in-laws are like, you started this? I'm like, yes, I did. It does, man. It is. It's all my fault. But and I don't. It's not about me. It's about the club. But it does. You sit back when we had like 30 people there today, and especially like at the summer social, it does take a minute, and it just kind of you got to take a step back and be like, whoa.
Yeah. It's pretty cool to see 30 people out at a meetup. People are ready for community again.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was a good meetup, and Lewis and April, they have a really nice setup out there. And the thing about his collection that I really dig is he's got a lot of memories. He's got a lot of memories tied up in his collection, and he's like, this is something, this is my first, like he says, snow speeder. He's like, this is my first snow speeder, and I lost the guns, but I couldn't find, and I couldn't find guns, so I made my own. And my mom, I lost the cape of my Darth Vader, and my mom made me a cape, and he's got all this stuff from his childhood and memories tied up into it.
Well, he did say his mom helped him make the cape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he made a Lando cape out of a sofa they were throwing out as a leatherback sofa. So he cut that out, and then he did sew on the side to kind of match Vader, but it's more. He was more careful with his line, so it's a straighter line than Darth Vader. Did he tell you how he got those original figures?
No, I heard something about. I was watching the video, but what was his story?
He's going to tell it to us a little bit later, and he'll tell it better than I did. But he essentially sold frog eggs at school for $5 a bag, and that's how he funded his collection for about a month. It's great. It's so good. Until
he ran out of frog eggs, or got tired of.
Until the parents realized that there was tadpoles in their aquariums, and they had to tell the teacher, and the teacher said he's got to stop that. So, but then he also he remade it for this meetup. He took a baseball and put 2 pieces of plywood on the side, cut it out as the shape of TIE fighter wings. And that's how he played with the TIE fighter as a kid.
Oh, wow.
And so he just made his own, and he'd fly it in the backyard. And
that's the kind of stuff I love. I mean, yeah, I got to see his collection last April when we were coming down from Cincinnati. We had to pick something up from him, and we spent about an hour there hearing his stories and stuff. So he's got a great imagination, man.
Yeah. And his display case, I mean, he built that himself. It looks like the yellowed back of a 70, was it 79 back? I can't think. No,
one of the card bags.
One of the older Return of the Jedi orange. It's a very, I mean, people know what the color, yellow orange.
Right.
And so he tried to do that with a display, but he's actually got it behind glass, but he can actually take the glass off so he can get to the figures themselves. And it was cool. It's really cool setup.
And he's been asked to make into other ones, and he's like, no, I'm not making it anymore.
It's one of one, people.
Right. And he did that on purpose. But yeah, it was a great meetup. He had had a lot of people there, and I was just like you said, it's just fun, man, and fun to get out and see people again.
Yeah, he messaged me, and he's like, "Do you know how far the planets are from our solar system?" I'm like, oh, maybe he's working on some sort of trivia thing. But I'm like, no, I sent him a map of the Star Wars universe and like how far planets are from one another. And I'm like, you can probably guesstimate, because I didn't know what he was doing. I said, you probably can use this, because it had all the planets outlined in like a solar system. And I was like, here you go. This probably will help you. And then we show up, and he's got one of those directional signages pointing to Endor and Tatooine and Coruscant. And it's one of those directional signages, and they're all different angled, and they've got a point on one end to kind of point to that direction. So that was an awesome surprise to see that.
He definitely, I think he raised the bar with preparedness of a
I'm like, how do I top this now?
Right.
I'm gonna have to build an AT-AT out front. An AT-AT, not an AT-AT, people.
No, it's an AT-AT.
It's an AT-AT.
And my wife was like, as we're leaving, she saw his sign, Star Wars meetup. She goes, we need those. Everybody needs those.
Yeah. Well, my wife and I are trying to figure out how to make those, but it's like a project that, hey, we should make one, and then we completely forget about it.
Right. Or have one and it just keeps rotating, and whoever has the next meetup, you get it.
Yeah, I have heavy, maybe I'll use this. I have heavy like real estate signs that they put out on the corner. The only problem is those get stolen.
Right.
They're the heavy tripod one, not tripod, but they kind of fold open to make like an A-frame. But because they're metal and because they're heavy duty, people will steal those.
Right.
So
do they steal them for, well, you don't know if is it for scrap or because they want to use them?
Both. I mean, yeah. I did not steal it. My mom's a real estate agent, so she had to buy them. And then she stopped being a real estate agent, but she still had them. So we got them, and we like use it for parties and stuff. So maybe I'll just spray paint it white, print out a logo, and throw it on there.
Yeah, that would be awesome if all we did. Yeah, because then if you just put Star Wars meetup, people would be like, ooh. But if you just do the peach, the Death Star logo with an arrow, that way it's secretive and people,
Yeah, the only problem with the peach is there's just too much stuff to cut out.
Oh yeah.
So I could do the GASWC with the Kenner style font.
Yes, that would be even better. That would make more sense, and then people would.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good to see everyone. It was cool to see a different take on collecting, because he's got the vintage stuff, but he also has like a lot of the 12-inch stuff.
Right. And
I don't know if I've seen many people who kind of focus on that kind of stuff. So it was just cool to see, the Power of the Force era, Power of the Force 2 era collector series boxed figures, the big figs from Jack's Pacific. I can talk tonight.
You've only had one old fashioned, right?
Yes. This is becoming a thing. Or I'm always drunk with Glenn.
I'm a bad influence on you.
Yeah, you
man.
are. Yeah, you are. That and construction.
Right.
Those people can have a few in the construction industry. So maybe I need to get out of the construction industry.
Better, yeah.
I got the R6W1CH, which was the Disney Build-A-Droid factory. It's like a 3.75-inch figure. It's got red and black and white deco, and it's got a witch's hat. So I got that in the mail today or this week, and I also got Wrecker from the Bad Batch. Oh, I'm Wrecker.
Oh, yeah.
Punching his way through things. So I got him as a Black Series figure.
Nice. I did have some. I didn't get anything, but I got these stands for my Bill and Ted stuff, and I had some extra ones, and I put some of my Black Series on it. Like figure stands that I made Boba Fett look like he could fly and stuff, and I found them on Amazon for like a couple of bucks a piece. So that was I had some fun doing that because I got tired of my Sabine and Hera and Ahsoka always falling. So I put them in there and made my Boba Fett look like the deluxe Boba Fett. I made him look like he's flying. So that was kind of cool. I am kind of aggravated right now because I bought my wife something and I'm waiting. It hasn't moved since the 6th of September.
Wow.
Yeah.
You seem to have a lot of this issue with shipping.
Me or everywhere?
You.
Yeah. But it hasn't showed, nothing's happened. I don't know what's going on with it. So and it departed, it's coming from Canada, and it departed from the Atlanta regional or whatever. And that's the last it says. And I messaged the guy and I was like, hey, could you start a dispute with this? And he's like, oh, it just says arriving late. I was like, dude, just start a dispute or look into it. See if you can look into it. And he hasn't replied. So I'm gonna give it another week or so and then I'll message him. But it just, yeah, I do. I think, yeah, shipping USPS stinks sometimes, but
Yep.
I don't know what you're gonna do. How else are you gonna get stuff unless you do UPS? UPS is getting better. It's pretty good.
FedEx, but that's expensive.
Yeah. Is that FX?
I
FedEx.
I think it's the more expensive of them.
Yeah, I think FedEx is. Well, what you can do, what FedEx does now, and UPS does it too, is they'll get it to the post office, and then the post office delivers it to your house.
Yes. Yeah,
And that's a little bit cheaper. Huh?
Yeah. They do a handoff.
Right. Well, and that's when I like Amazon, because I've never had anything lost from Amazon. But it's
We had a chair lost. So then they sent us another chair, and then the first chair arrived. So I had to take the chair to like one of their UPS stores and drop off this massive chair, computer chair, and it was like, here you go. It's your problem now.
and it was still in a box.
It's still in the box. It's in the box.
I was surprised they wanted it back. I guess because it was a chair, but
Yeah.
every now and again I'll go to return something on Amazon and they're like, we don't want it back. Just here's your money.
I thought I saw a message like that, and then I couldn't find it. So I'm like, I guess we have to return the chair because I'm not buying another $200 chair or however much it was.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And then I've had stuff misdelivered for Amazon, and they were just like, we don't care.
Yeah. There was a secret, not a secret, but it was just very hush hush quiet. The email came out this week about the Razor Crest. It said that it was delayed until early 2022, not the January 2022 that they said on the live stream.
So it's pushed even further back.
Well, I mean, January is early, but why not say January?
Mm-hmm.
Why say early 2022 unless it's to cover your butts?
Right.
Well, Tony Johnson said at the meetup today, people are receiving their Sentinel. He hasn't received his yet, but they ship them in order of the placement of the order when they originally made it, if that makes sense. So if you ordered before me,
right,
a Razor Crest, they would ship to you first before they get to me.
I guess that makes sense.
So they haven't shipped it yet to Tony.
Well, I mean, I guess that's an incentive to get your order in first.
But there seems to be some sort of issue with the Sentinel. Like I was watching one YouTuber, which will remain anonymous. He made it sound like the Sentinel couldn't even stand up, that it was just a flaw in the design.
Oh, that's not good.
He made it sound like it was a complete waste of money and it was just a piece of crap.
Really?
Yeah. And so I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. So I went on to other YouTubers and they're like, all you need to do is pop out this piece and tighten the screw on the knee, and then you're good to go.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just I get the point where it's like it should be a complete piece and it should work as promised, but sometimes screws come loose and you just need to tighten that stuff.
Right. Well, I guess it's easier than having to get a new figure or whatever. That's all you got to do is tighten a screw, and then why complain?
Right.
But I also know people make their living on YouTube complaining.
Exactly. And I think that's what I saw.
Right.
But it seems to have a fix, and we'll see what happens with the Galactus and Razor Crest.
Did you crap, that was loud. Did you see the new Boba Fett rumor for the Black Series?
No. Oh, Power of the Force 2 stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, did you see the Photoshop, somebody quote unquote Photoshop, and
no,
somebody Photoshopped the Kenner Deco Boba Fett in the Power of the Force 2.
That makes no sense though.
That doesn't. Yeah.
Because that's just whatever. I'm okay with that. I love the Power of the Force 2.
Mm-hmm.
I love again, it's the nostalgia of going out and finding those figures once again.
Right. But but the one I'm talking about is like the 40th anniversary one with the foil.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. They put
I know
that
which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. They put that in the Power of the Force 2 packaging. And I'm like, if they did that, that's the only way I'd buy that Boba Fett. Because I like that deco.
I wish I could report back and say that I'm not going to buy that figure, but chances are I'm going to buy it.
So you're more of a Boba Fett fan than you said last week.
I like Boba Fett. Yeah. I mean, he's cool. He's a cool figure to have on your shelf.
He is. He's a badass.
He is a badass. And then they have that new Leia figure that's part of the Power of the Force 2, the ceremonial Yavin Leia.
Right.
That's coming, but I guess it's the wrong card.
Is it?
Yeah, I think they put on the Power of the Jedi when it should have been a Power of the Force 2, the greenback.
Right.
But who knows?
Yeah, I don't. As everybody could tell from the video from the meetup today, I don't keep up with names of crap like I should.
Oh man,
horrible.
You told the group your feelings about the slave one.
I sure did, because I had a slave one. I brought the Kenner slave, the new slave one that just released was missing a ramp. My ramp was missing. Yeah. So when I contacted Hasbro, they were like, we don't have a ramp to replace it because it's too new of a figure, too new of a thing. But so they made it up to me. They sent me, well, tell me what you're into and we'll send you some stuff. So they ended up sending me like a lightsaber, some Galactic Heroes stuff that I already had that I ended up giving away. And they sent me, what else did they send me? I don't know, but they sent me, ended up sending, well, it was that lightsaber and the Galactic Hero stuff. So it equaled out what the Slave One cost. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up finding out that Slave One was a remold of the Django Slave One from a few years before that. I found somebody had the ramp. So I bought one to buy the ramp. And then I sold the ramp. Then I donated it for the raffle. And of course I call it the Slave One. And you're like, it's the fire spray. And I'm like, shut up. And there's
it'll
kids
always
around.
Be the slave one to me.
It'll always be the slave one to me. So, and there were kids around, so I couldn't really say my true feelings.
You said them without having to say your true feelings.
Exactly.
It's always the slave one to you.
It is. It's always the slave one to me.
Did you see that there was a Hawkeye trailer this week?
I saw that. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks really good. But that comes out November 24th.
Is that a movie or a series?
It's a series.
Even better.
Yeah, it's one of their Disney Plus series. But, if Book of Boba is December, that means the next trailer up on deck has to be Book of Boba. Do you need a moment to
I need
to
a
breathe?
moment. I think I'm looking forward to that. I'm trying not to get all excited about it and hyped up over it, but
yeah, I'm trying not to as well. But, like we said last week, Robert Rodriguez was saying we over-delivered.
Right.
And if it's a revenge story, I mean, the first person I would go to for revenge is the person who knocked me in the Sarlacc. Will they bring Alden back?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where my brain goes to, unless it's just like all the bounty hunters.
Man.
I don't know.
And does the timeline work? Yeah, the timeline works.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking 4 or 5 years after Return of the Jedi. It's got to be pretty cool. It's got to be cool, man.
Why you got to do that to me, Jason?
Quit playing games with my heart, with my heart.
And then you can have Lando back, and then you can tie that into the Lando series. And...
Well, hello there. What do we have here?
And going back to Solo, I think if they would have introduced Alden playing Han Solo the same way they introduced Lando, we would have been cool with it, because you hear Lando before you see him, and he does such a good job with the voice. You believe it. Your mind is already like, that's Billy D. Williams. That's Lando Calrissian. And then you see Donald Glover playing Lando, and it's automatic.
Yeah. That's perfect casting right there.
Right.
Not only is he an extremely talented singer-songwriter and actor and comedian, he was just perfect for Lando.
Right. I want to do that line from Community, but I know I'm going to mess it up though. Welcome to Abed in the morning. That's been too long.
Wait, yeah, it's Troy and Abed in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. That was such a good show, and I
Glen
don't
and
know.
Jason in the night.
Yeah. Oh, we're actually recording at night. It's a little bit looser tonight.
Yeah, that's why I'm drinking an old fashioned and not coffee.
Right. Oh, what else we got to talk about, man? Do you want to get into the Ahsoka rumor that I heard with the
Well,
Ahsoka show, or do you
I've
want to
got-
save it for another?
No, we can get into it. Let me finish up the news because I like
Okay,
to
finish
be a
up the news.
completionist. I had this down, and then Lucasfilm and Star Wars posted it, so it's like everyone's sharing it. Heir to the Empire turned 30 this week.
Amen,
this week.
brother.
So
And
that was cool.
Mr. Timothy Zahn saving Star Wars.
Yeah.
And they will admit when that book was written, they had no clue if there was any Star Wars fans out there. And look at us 30 years later, still talking about it.
Now, I've had an incredible Star Wars month. And so I talked to a lot of people this past month, and I don't remember where I got this story from. Stop me if you're the one that told me this story.
Okay.
So I'm on the hunt for an Heir to the Empire first edition. And apparently there's a typo in the first edition. That's very rare.
Okay.
So somebody I was talking to wanted to get their first edition signed. So they went to Timothy Zahn, and Timothy saw it, and he's like, "Oh, it's the first edition." He started flipping through it. He's like, "Oh my gosh, this is the typo. Can I buy this off of you?" And the guy's like, "No, that's mine."
Where's the typo?
I don't remember. So that's something we'll have to look up. Maybe I should have looked it up first.
Well, hold on. Let's see if it'll come up on Google, because I can go grab my. All right. So Heir to the Empire. To the Empire typo. Let's see if it'll TYPO. Let's see if it'll come up in Google. Heir to the Empire. Changing names.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about.
I'll
Maybe
have
I.
to do, I'll have to do more research because I think maybe I know who I spoke to.
Okay.
But even then, they were like, "I don't Heir to the Empire typo." Hold on.
Or I guess it would be like first edition typo or something.
Yeah, I'll do some more research and digging. I don't even know if it's something that people are aware of. Maybe it's just something that Timothy Zahn knew because he's the author.
Because I know when I handed him my first edition, he didn't look at it.
Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, well.
Forget it. Forget it.
Well, if anybody wants to Google it or anybody knows, please shoot us an email, smugglersgalaxy@gmail.com, or message us on Instagram or Facebook, and we'll get back to you, and we'll send you a sticker.
And a magnet.
Yeah. Several stickers.
And some love.
Yeah.
And then quickly for the market watch, I only have 3 items that I just randomly picked. The 45 back Hoth Rebel soldier for Terry Chandler, that was selling for $157.
Mm-hmm.
A Legacy collection, I guess the Rancor was on my mind. The Rancor Keeper from the Legacy collection was selling for $45. Not bad for a peg warmer.
Right.
And then Power of the Force Imperial Gunner, ungraded, min on card, but with a dented bubble, was selling for $511. It's a lot of money, but that's still less than I would have anticipated for that figure.
Yeah.
And the figure itself is, what do we say, 200?
I would guess. Yeah, about $200.
With the blaster?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I have for the news and market watch and pickups this week.
Yeah, that Imperial Gunner was like the first time I actually laid real money down for a Star Wars figure, and it was only like
how much you
like
slap on that counter?
$50.
$50
with a coin at Dragon Con.
That's not bad.
No. And then I sold the coin to TK for like $20 a couple of years later, because I'm like, I don't collect coins, so why do I need to have a coin? So I almost made money. I only paid $30 for it. So fun.
Those were the times. I would love to have bought one for $50.
I know, dude. I got so
Those
lucky.
days are closed.
What are closed?
Those days are closed.
Oh yeah, those days are closed. Yeah. I I got so lucky with my stuff because you had people that were giving me good deals, and I got in right when the prices started to skyrocket.
Yeah.
And now you can't even sniff. Now if you pay $10 for a figure, everybody's like, "Oh, you got such a good deal." But when I started, I was like, "Dude, I ain't paying $10 for a Star Wars figure. You're crazy."
Yeah. Yeah, and I was talking to Jerry, so we'll have this later in the episode. I was talking to Jerry Hancock about, or Kiadi Randy, about pricing, and he thinks prices have kind of plateaued a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So the days of the early pandemic where things were just skyrocketing, those have kind of stopped, but things are kind of plateauing. There was a piece that he's been after for a while, and the guy's asking an exorbitant amount of money, which he's not going to get, and it's been for a while. Just this one piece he's been asking for, and nobody's buying it. And so I think things have plateaued, and people are not just going to be spending the wild dollars. Yeah, I'll throw 2,000 because I'm not doing anything this month.
Right.
Those days are over.
Cool. Well, I really thought the retro collection, when they re-released the retro collection a few years ago, that would have helped plateau pricing, because people, instead of going spend $300 on a 12 pack, they would have gone spend the $12 on one of the retro collections. But it didn't change anything.
That retro collection blows my mind that it's as successful as it is. Not the Mandalorian stuff, but the Star Wars and Empire stuff, because that's just repro.
Right.
And there's people who are anti-repro collecting those things. And obviously we're not taking them off the card and stuff. I'm afraid to take it off the card. I have a bent up Yoda.
Right.
That Walmart sent me. I'm afraid to open it because I don't want to contribute to repro in any way. And I know they're different, and I know people can compare them, the people that know.
Dude, even if you don't know, you can tell a difference.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen one in person, but I've seen enough videos, because the CCOs on the older stuff are like stamped, like, and they're raised and stuff, but on that stuff, it's a computer generated, like a print.
Well, Yoda has like a gloss on him from the retro collection. I'm looking at him right now. He's got some sort of gloss on his skin in that green color. So, I mean, there is some difference, but it's just surprising that these didn't sit on store shelves, that these actually sold as well as they did.
Well, I saw that they're doing them with G.I. Joes now. They've done them with Transformers, and now they're doing it with G.I. Joes. Yeah,
I would imagine it's that, what's that, reaction figures. They were making...
Oh, yeah.
Like they made a Rocketeer, they made Terminator, they made Gremlins. And I think and then it's a Funko property, isn't it? The reaction. Yeah. And then Super 7's making stuff.
Super 7, I think, took over the line, or got the license or somehow.
And so now Hasbro's like, we want a piece of that pie.
Right.
And they're sniffing it. That's a reproduction. We don't even have to do anything. You can just repack that. Cha-ching.
More bad talk about
the blood in the air.
Yeah, I've got some of the Back to the Future. I know I have the original run of the Back to the Future, and then when they did Back to the Future 2 and 3, they did a whole bunch of them, and they got expensive fast, because they were wanting, I think, $20 a figure for those. And I was like, dude, why am I going to do that? It's just something else to put on a shelf. So when I find it for cheap, I pick them up. And I do have the San Diego Comic-Con. They did a Marty McFly on the card. Looks like a hoverboard, so it's like a foot tall, which is ridiculous looking, but it's cool at the same time.
Still beautiful.
Yeah. And I've actually Gronk Toys out of California is the only place you can find a case for it. So I've got it sitting in one of their cases. I've got it way over there with my Marty McFly stuff.
I see it, and all the listeners see it. So that's all that matters.
Right. Exactly. You totally see it. Look, I'm going to go get it right now, Jason.
Here, hold on. You got it?
Yes.
I'm a Foley artist now. Okay, walk on back.
Oh, geez. Let me hit we got toy shows coming up.
Sure.
All right, hit this real quick while we're in news. October 2nd is the Powder Springs show here in Powder Springs. October 23rd is Legion Con on Legion Drive in Smyrna. And then November 6th, I think, is a new show or newer show. It's called Kosakon. I'm saying it wrong. It's in Rome. That's on my birthday. So I'll probably head up to that one just because it's my birthday. What else am I
Go,
going to do?
Glenny. It's your birthday. You're going to buy toys like it's your birthday.
Right. Yeah. And it was funny. My wife, talking about my wife listening to the podcast, she was listening and she goes, yeah, I thought it was funny how you said I was going to take everything away when you went to Cincinnati for that show. And I'm like, yeah, no, but I'd be happy. I know you're going to whatever, I know I'm going to have a little bit of pocket money. And then she go, I don't have to give you anything if I don't want, Just like,
oh no, she's in your head.
She really is. I'm like, doggone it. Oh, but yeah. We're talking about Narayan about that Cincinnati trip today. So that's going to be pretty cool.
That'd be fun.
I think we're talking Terry Chandler into coming. We're like, Terry.
Oh, cool.
You want to go to Cincinnati. You want to do it. Come on.
Yeah, but the problem is his wife wouldn't. Well, maybe his wife would go, but if it's just the guys and he's not going to go and he seems to be more reserved than his wife is the one like, oh, I'll spend $5 and I'll do $20.
She really was. She's the one that's like, yeah, Terry,
he's
you
more
want
reserved.
That?
Like, yeah, well, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
They got the boot. She's having fun. Lisa's having fun, but
the wives were talking. They were like, we can go to Florida and hang out at the beach and the boys can go to Disney. And I'm like, I will not stop you from doing that.
Yeah.
I will. If that's what you want, if that's what you girls want to do, you just let me know and we'll make it happen.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Let's go to Disney.
That is funny how the girls are like, screw Disney. And we're all like, Disney.
Although my wife would probably want to go to Disney. She wouldn't want to go to the beach.
Right.
But whatever.
Yeah.
So was Toyland on the schedule yet?
I know it's on the schedule. Let me look. It's not what I wanted. Toylanta. Come on. March 18th through the 20th of 2022.
Okay.
So put that on your calendars too.
Yep.
Isn't that around your anniversary?
My anniversary.
I thought Toyland. No, it's IC. What's around your? There was one show that was around your anniversary. Or birthday or wife's birthday or something.
Well, March 19th is my wife's birthday. So
okay, there you go. That's what I knew. There was something messing that date up for you.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Not messing that date up for you, but messing, in a good way.
Yep.
Because I know she doesn't listen to the podcast.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't give a shit. I could say whatever I want.
You could.
Because I'm that cool.
Right.
And she's not in my head right now.
She's not in my head either. She's like, yeah, but whatever. So this is a subject that I've kind of been wanting to get into because somebody mentioned this, and we've actually mentioned this a few months ago, but we just never got into it.
Yeah.
The rumor has it that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are going to use the Ahsoka show to retcon the sequels.
To what extent?
To like get
my question.
I don't know. They just said retcon, so I don't know if they're going to get rid of the sequels and redo them.
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not in the cards.
You don't think they'd have the power to do that?
I don't think they want to do that.
Okay.
I think they can change some things. I think there's enough gray room where they can amend things from a certain point of view, but what you saw in the sequels is canon. I don't think they're changing that. Okay. But as we saw in The Mandalorian season 2, there was possibly Snoke in one of those cloning tubes.
Right. I want to know what that was.
I think it's Snoke.
You think so?
But like, they're not going to say Luke Skywalker never went to Act 2. Act 2, whatever you want to call it.
Become a hermit and sit on a beach somewhere.
That's his, that's part of his future.
Okay.
Love it or hate it. I just don't see it happening. I just don't.
Right.
It's all one universe. And I think people are pissed off at Kathleen Kennedy. I don't think she's going anywhere. I think it's just fanboys. I think on the backside of things, she's doing great.
Right.
I don't know.
Right. And I truly think the reason why people don't like the sequels is because, I think Luke and Leia, or, everybody got old. So they had to write it for them being old. They couldn't write it for them being young, or
Yeah.
they put them right in the middle instead of doing it one way or the other, either not having it in there or having them in, either making it 100% about them or not having them in the season, in the movies at all. And they had them right in the middle where it just ruins everything.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I think it's a big ask, as far as that goes, but I know, the World Between Worlds, they when you see the Ahsoka logo, that big circle is part of the logo. So is that going to be is time travel going to be an Ahsoka show thing?
I hope not. If they were going to retcon things, they can, I guess, create a second parallel universe using Ahsoka and kick her out of that universe into another one if they wanted to, I guess, maybe. But I don't want a multiverse for Star Wars. I just want the one timeline, accept what's happened and move on.
Gotcha.
Stay away from the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, that's it.
That's my personal preference.
No, I got you.
You sound dejected.
I don't know where I want to go with it, because I think if I didn't read the EU, I'd be okay with the prequels. That's my issue. Because,
yeah, I get it.
Leia was a badass. Luke was a badass. Han was a badass. And then they're just old in the movies. And it didn't, when you see them old, when you see your heroes age, it's not fun.
It's not fun to age in general.
No, it's not.
That's something we all have to accept, is that we're getting older.
Right.
And the things that we once thought were bright, shiny objects are actually kind of dull in adult life. For example, I love snow when I grew up. Snow is great. You can do a lot of things in snow. You can build snowmen. You can build forts. You can have snowball fights. When you get old and you have to shovel that crap, your back starts to hurt. It's slippery. You know how many times I fell in Syracuse trying to shovel? You would have to get up at 4 a.m. to shovel out yourself, and then the snowplows will come through and blow all that stuff back on your driveway, and you have to reshovel.
Jesus.
So my point being, what's fun as a kid doesn't necessarily mean it's fun as an adult.
Right.
Your perspective has changed.
I'm shaking my head, yes.
Yeah, which is probably why people prefer the same story that they saw 40 years ago instead of new stuff. Because I don't know, they want to remember what it was like to be a kid, and things are different now.
Well, it is.
I mean, the last movie, I guess it was the Avengers, but the last movie before the Avengers where I was completely blown away was Jurassic Park when I was 14.
Right.
After that, all the movies were like, meh. And I think something happened where I wasn't a kid anymore. I was more of an adult with adult responsibilities, and it changes your perspective. So I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know either. Well, I think you're trying to make a point that we're all old, and
we're old.
It sucks.
It sucks getting old. Yes. For more than one reason. Our perspectives change, and the fact that we have to have bills and stuff, that all weighs on us and the way we see the world.
Yeah, that's what I tried to explain to my stepdaughter. It's like, stay as young as long as you can. She's 16, and it's like, enjoy high school. Yes, it sucks right now, but enjoy it, because after you graduate high school, guess what? There's bills, and there ain't no stopping bills.
Yes.
And
student loans.
Huh?
Student loans,
and
there's Hasbro making repacks and repaints.
Freaking Hasbro, more repacks and repaints. But they haven't released anything this week except for that Boba Fett rumor. I think Yak Face has got some rumors going, but I didn't bring them.
Yeah, they also have vintage collection droids. So it'd be C3PO, R2D2. Yeah. But I'm thinking it's going to be more like the Tartakovsky Clone Wars vintage collection. I don't think they're going to put it on a droids card back. I think they're going to put the droids in the racetrack, and it'll just keep the same kind of style that they have with the vintage collection.
but they're going to do a
It
more of
would
a
be
droids deco.
yeah. It would save droids on above the pill.
Mhm.
I don't think they're going to repaint C3PO. This is my opinion. I know no knowledge. I don't think they're
Right.
going to repaint C3PO. I don't think they're going to throw a new sticker on R2D2 or repaint Boba Fett. I think they're just going to add what they've done, repack them with those with like an animated image in the racetrack,
Okay.
which
That would
sucks.
suck. That would be horrible.
Yeah, but
I would. I mean, I would be cool with a droids Boba Fett paint scheme, but if they're just going to put a droids Boba Fett on the card back with the normal Boba Fett retro Fett, what's the point of that?
Well, Rich a lot with the Blue Milk Vintage Collection book thought it would be cool to Photoshop the Tartakovsky stuff to make it look like one of either the Ewok or the droid card backs.
Uh-huh.
And people in the comments were just like, what is this? This looks like garbage. Because I guess the modern collector doesn't know that older stuff.
Right.
And they thought it was garbage.
Jeez.
They thought it made no sense. Where's the racetrack? Where's this? Where's that?
And there's also a rumor about the another wave of retro collection from Mandalorian.
I've got your back. I keep seeing those rumors pop up that she's back on for season 4.
Really?
I'm like, I guess it's possible. Maybe there's a forget and forgive, but let's move on. I don't need not season 4, season 3.
Right.
I don't need to see her. Like,
I think they've progressed the storyline enough to where she doesn't need to be in it.
I do too.
And I've also heard a rumor that come season 4, they're going to change the name of it to something else. It could be more open. Instead of being Mandalorian, it could be like Mandalorians or something to that nature, where it's more of an open concept and it includes Mandalorians more than just the Mandalorian, more than just Din Djarin.
So maybe it's more of like a anthology series where they go from place to place and show different Mandalorians that we've met throughout the show.
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe it'll be more following Bo-Katan versus Din Djarin.
All the speculation.
We
should call this episode Rumors.
Yes, Rumors.
We should be playing Rumors by Fleetwood Mac in the background.
I don't even know enough. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. That's the only Fleetwood. That's the first song that came in my head.
Isn't it? You want your freedom.
Yeah, that's just Fleetwood Mac song.
Who am I to say? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm totally murdering that song. I don't know the words.
Right.
That's one song I won't be singing karaoke at the winter social we just announced tonight.
That's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to do more karaoke, dude.
But I think I'm doing it from 6 to 8 because we had girls over. My daughter had a little party last night. They were doing karaoke in the family room.
Right.
And I was up like where I plan on putting food in the dining room, and I couldn't hear anything because they were singing so loud.
Wow.
So I think I need to limit from like 6 to 8 will be karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
So from 4 to 6, we'll eat, we'll do our thing. 6 to 8, we'll do karaoke. 8 o'clock, that's when we start swinging from chandeliers and having fun.
Right.
And we'll do the sweater contest. Oh, I could talk about that now because so my theme this year is a winter social, which is the logo's based on A Christmas Story, my favorite holiday movie.
Yes.
And so instead of the leg lamp, I went to Second Chance. I got the pop-off C3PO from Power of the Force 2. Took his leg. I got one of the R2 units. I crushed it. Oh, my God. It was horrible. I don't know if I should explain this. So the first thing I did is I took it off the card because he didn't have any loose modern figures. So I took it off the card and I couldn't get the head off. So I took the figure out to my garage where it's concrete. I took a hammer. I smashed open the round part to pop off the head. And then I took clay. I took the head. I put it on top of the C3PO leg. I took clay to kind of secure it. Made a mold out of silicone. Filled the mold with resin. And I made a bunch of copies of this thing. So now I made trophies because it's going to be a chili cook-off. So everyone's going to vote for their favorite chili. I have first, second, third place with this leg lamp with C3PO and R2D2. Mac and cheese. I plan on winning the first place for that. So I'll be able to
My wife will bring a pretty strong mac and cheese.
It's gonna be Cajun.
Yes.
Cajun mac and cheese.
Cajun mac and cheese.
I can't wait.
I told her, I said, there's gonna be a mac and cheese cook-off, and she's like, all right, boys, I'm bringing it.
All right. We'll
Well,
see.
She didn't talk it like that, but
No, you did though.
I sure the hell did.
And
She
then
got
ugly
excited.
sweater. I made a trophy for that. So there'll be trophies to hand out. It'll be a fun time. And that'll be December 4th. So if you're in the area, sign up on the Georgia Alliance page.
Yeah. It's always a fun time at the Winter Social.
Yeah. How long have we been talking?
We're at an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This we need to start maybe we need to start recording at night. 'Cause
Maybe.
it's gone a lot smoother.
We got some class here tonight with the old fashioned. You didn't have anything to drink. I'm the only one drinking.
Yeah, I drank like 2 beers last night, and I woke up this morning with a headache, which it sucked.
You're getting old.
And getting old. It's horrible.
And now you want to see Han Solo doing cool, badass stuff when you can't even have 2 drinks at night.
Right. It was bad, dude. I told Mandy, it's like, I could tell I'm getting old because I had 2 beers and I woke up with a headache. Well, you need to drink more water.
More water and aspirin.
Yeah, I probably should have. I probably should be drinking a water, but I don't want to get up and have to go pee. There's another sign I'm getting old.
So should I just introduce the clips and you splice them in here?
Yeah, introduce the clips and splice them in. And
did you talk to anyone?
Huh? I did not. I didn't. You took the recorder from me, and I didn't have a chance. Well, yeah. What's funny, and I'm gonna call you out because it's just funny to me, and I love it. And we were talking about it, and you're like, I'm such an introvert, and I have trouble talking to people. And then when I have issues, I could talk to people, but then if I have the recorder in my hand, I'm like, oh, dude, can I talk to you about this? And you're just like, dude, I hate talking to people. And you put a recorder in your hand and you're like, hey, dude, let's talk about this.
Yeah.
And you're in your element when you get that recorder. And I'm just like, that's how you need to get you out of your comfort zone, is just put a recorder in your hand and you'll talk to anybody.
Yeah. Cause that's creating something. I'm creating like if it's a video or if it's the podcast, like I'm creating something. I got a project here that I'm working on, and I love doing projects, but it's work for me to get in front of someone and talk to them without a recorder. I need that crutch.
Right. Well, just don't keep it on. Just keep it in your hand and be pretending like, hey, I'm going to pretend I'm going to record you. So
yeah,
here you go.
So the first person I talked to is Tony Johnson, and Tony tells me a little bit about a Facebook incident. And then he goes into, so he got one of those new NECA masks. Have you seen those at Walmart?
I've seen them, but I haven't seen them. I haven't seen them in the flesh.
Yeah,
I did see y'all talking and he put on the mask.
Yeah. And we were making sound effects. See, I'm a Foley artist. But yeah, he showed that to me. So we kind of do a live review of that. So you had an adventure. I'm with Tony Johnson right now. You had an adventure coming here from Athens.
Yeah, that's right. What happened? Facebook kind of inundated me with the Calhoun toy and comic show to the point that I assumed it was happening this weekend. So I got up early to hit that first, since it's just up the road from Cartersville. And turns out it was October 16th, not September 18th, 19th, whatever today is. I'm not quite sure. Obviously, that's why I made the mistake. But yeah, there was a nice high school thing going on, so it was very confusing until I saw the cheerleaders, and then I figured this probably isn't a toy show. But it was fine. I hit a Walmart or two, just killing time before the main event.
Did you pick anything up?
Nothing Star Wars. Well, on the way, I picked up one of the new NECA Ruby's Tusken Raider masks. And then here, the only thing I found were the new some G.I. Joe stuff.
Did you open the mask?
I haven't opened it yet.
You have it in the trunk.
Yeah, it's in the trunk.
Do a live look at it?
Sure.
Let me pop. All right, so we're going to look at the new NECA Tusken Raider. I had seen you holding it up before. You were kind of like heading it over your head
And
when I was in the far side. Yeah. But okay, he's opening it. It's very detailed. It's got a nice wash on it.
It's very heavy. It doesn't feel latexy.
No, it's really thick. Thicker than I would anticipate. That's what she said, I'm sure. Now they had the real masks. Did they have like glass there for the eyes?
I think at least in the masks I've seen being built, it's a mesh.
It's a mesh, okay. So there's nothing there on this mask itself. It's just open air.
No, and it's all latex or rubber. And
Yeah.
It's very obviously, you can see brush strokes on it. It's not really. It doesn't look very. I mean, it doesn't strike me as metallic. I mean, I guess from far away it's.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm a little concerned about all
The black stuff in there?
black schmutz in there.
So inside the mask, there's like, black mold-looking stuff.
I think it's just paint.
I'm sure it is,
The
but
the inside.
yeah, I'm sure it is, but it doesn't ease the anxiety when you look at it.
I don't know. Let's get the feel for it.
There we go. We've got a Tuscan Raider. Tony's got it on. Make the sound. That's awesome.
Okay.
But yeah.
That is about. You can see about as well as as they could probably see in the
Yeah.
movies.
So
Yeah, I mean it's okay. Maybe not worth the $50.
you don't think so?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't owned a proper mask in
I mean,
a very long
masks are
time.
going for like $100 at Party City, like at around Halloween time.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that is a good deal.
I think it is. Maybe I'll wait till November, see how much it is then.
I mean, I haven't decided if I'm going to wear this when giving out candy, but
Yeah,
I might.
put on a bathrobe.
Yeah.
What's up, kids?
I'll just swing a stick at them. It'll
Yeah.
be great. Yeah, I mean, it's
swing
okay.
a stick and then dance over the. That'd be funny.
I'll learn some ASL.
Yeah.
Try and barter with them. Do you want to?
No, I don't want to put it on.
Well. All right, cool. But
Cool.
yeah,
Well, thank you for
it's
sharing.
interesting.
Thanks for sharing. Maybe I should like bake it. Like, so what'd you think of that, Glenn?
Oh, it was great. I loved that interview.
All right. The next person I talked to is Jerry. I felt like an ass because he was talking about things trending down, and I thought he was talking about COVID because COVID's trending down. And so he gave me a look at one moment, and he just went with it. But then we clarified, and he was talking about prices of vintage figures going down. And so he shared his thoughts on the current pricing and what the next few years might look like. All right, hold on. I'm here with Jerry Hancock, and he was just talking about vintage prices. What's your opinion on the current prices of vintage figures?
I think things are starting to level out a little bit. Things are getting back to normal. I think all the free money's starting to dry up a little bit.
Yeah. People are going on vacation. So
Yeah. People are finding other things. I think it's good. I think things are getting out of control there for a little bit, but things seem to be, I don't want to say coming back to normal, but that's definitely leveling off a little bit. I've been watching the Star Wars tracker.
Yeah.
I got that last year, right when everything started spiking, just to keep up with it because it was moving so fast. And I have to say it's I don't want to say stagnated, but it's just sort of leveled off.
Yeah.
You know, I think we've definitely found the top. Because we all getting old.
Yeah.
You know, and somebody's got to take this stuff at some point. We have a few young folks coming up, but I don't know we have enough to absorb it all. So, yeah, I think leveling off is good. Because we've seen some crazy in the last year as far as prices.
Pretty
But
insane right there. And I don't know if it's sustainable.
yeah, exactly. That's it. I don't think it is sustainable. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 2 to 3 years we actually start to see things maybe even drop a little bit, because I've been watching the social media channels, and things like blasters and accessories always been big, and it's like when you're seeing blasters going for $200 and $250 and $300, you know, for some of the rarer ones. At that point, I just don't think that's sustainable. And I've seen a few been posted recently where, well, there's one right now. A guy posted on Imperial Commissary, if we can say names, and it's a black Jedi Loot Palace blaster, and he had it at first at 185, nobody bit. It's down to 165, and still nobody's biting. I just feel like we've hit a ceiling, you know, and now people are having to say, okay, well, I guess I'll take what I can get. I had a guy, I won't say any names, posted recently on one of the collector sites for an empty box that I really would like to have, and he had an ungodly amount attached to it because it's freaking cherry. It's it's pristine. There's no doubt about it. But he was I wouldn't be surprised to say a third over what he could realistically get. And I reached out to him on 2 different occasions, and I'm like, I'll do this, which was still higher than, because I was willing to pay for the quality on it. And he won't get back to me. He's dead set. I'm going to make this much, and doesn't want to back off. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's how the free market works. But I don't know that he'll sell it for what he's asking.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, if you have a certain amount in a product, in an item, you're not going to sell it for less.
Yeah. And
So
I think that's what happened. He got nabbed, and because it was such great condition, he probably bid at a price that he shouldn't have, and now he can't afford to go less, or he's going to take a loss, and we all make mistakes.
Yep.
So
It'll be an interesting couple of years then to see
Yeah.
how this all plays out.
yeah, we'll see where it goes, but it's been fun.
Yeah.
And it's
been
definitely
fun to watch.
Yeah, the good thing about it, I think, for as far as the club is concerned, is it's definitely generated a lot more excitement. Again, I mean, we're 40 minutes north of Metro Atlanta. We're out of the way out here, and I thought we'd show up and there were 10, 12, maybe 15 people. We had like 30 people today.
Yeah.
You know, who drove a considerable distance to get up here. I know you're not too far away,
It's
but
about 20 minutes for me, but still.
yeah, it was 40 minutes one way for me. 50 minutes actually, 49 minutes one way. But I think we're all ready to get back to being social again, and this was outside, and it felt like a good Saturday to do it, and we had a good turnout. So yeah, with all the prices, I think it's, it is what it is, but at the end of the day, it generates excitement. There's no such thing as bad publicity, as they say.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jerry.
No worries. Thanks, man.
Insert Jerry here. So there's Jerry giving his thoughts. What did you think, Glenn?
Thank you, Jerry. I found it delightful.
And then finally, I went in and I talked to Lewis. So I could tell this meetup. I'm with Lewis right now, Lewis Brown, who is hosting this meetup with his wife, April. I could tell this meetup meant a lot to you, just from your excitement and your posts and stuff. Is that an accurate assumption?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was really excited about it.
What were you excited about?
Well, just get everybody here together. I like the atmosphere, having the club together. Yeah. And I just like the club, period. When I first came to the club, I didn't know nobody, but everybody just welcomed me in.
Yeah. This is the first time you've actually shown off your collection to the group.
Yeah.
What were you most excited to show off?
My case over there.
Your case, the one that you designed with the yellow background and the vinyl racetrack around it.
Yep.
How long did that take to build?
3 days.
3 days.
I done it after work when I come in. And the longest part was paint. You had to wait for it to dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paint in the box.
But yeah, somebody on the internet had one about like it. He's wanting like $1,200 for it, so I said I can do this.
So you have all the original 96. What was the most difficult action figure to track down?
Yak face.
Yak face.
Yeah.
How long was that search?
I've searched for him steady for about 4 years. I came across him a lot during the 4 years, but I was just wanting too much for him, like $800-900, and I really wanted him, but every year went by, he was going up, and I missed the guy at Plastic Galaxy. I'd get in touch with him, about the value on him and all that, and he told me, he said, I wouldn't give no more 6 right now. He said next year might be a different story,
Yeah.
But I finally got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite vintage figure? Do you have a favorite?
Yeah. I love them all, like I say, but My favorite vintage figure, as far as looks on them and all that, I'd have to say I love Bosk. He's cool.
Yeah.
But I would say that's my favorite. Darth Vader is my favorite.
I love the your personal toy from when you were a kid and the cape on that. You said your mom sewed a cloth cape for you.
Yeah.
Did you lose the cape? And she's like, I can make you another one.
Yeah, she had a sewing machine. You'd sit down and you use with your foot, you know, pedal. And she sat down. I did it. She made me do it. She just showed me how to fold that over and do the stitching around it.
Yep.
And that's what I came up with. Now I went to my daddy and got a piece of wire for my lightsaber.
So you lost the original lightsaber, and they just took a red wire, bent it, and put it in the lightsaber hole.
Yep. And
Same thing with Lando there. I mean, Lando's got a cloth cape too.
yeah, he has a little piece of
Leather.
Yeah, we had a couch that my daddy threw away, and I went and cut the back of it out. And I put a little stitching around it. See, I was getting a little better.
Yeah.
It's more straighter.
It's getting straighter than Darth Vader. Yeah,
Better.
it's not as frayed, but it is leather on the outside, brown leather. So, I mean, that's fitting for Lando to have a brown leather cape.
I made my tauntaun's a rough shape. He got one ear, but I made him a saddle.
So the saddle's made out of leather too.
Yeah, I made out my old nail pouch from work.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
And my belt buckle.
You got your belt buckle.
It still has dirt in it. See?
So you've got your Darth Vader belt buckle from when you were a kid.
Yep. I wore it everywhere too.
Every day.
Every day, all the time.
That's awesome.
I didn't want to wear that unless I wore that belt buckle.
And tell me the story again of how you got all these vintage figures, because I think that's worth repeating, even if I don't use it for my video.
When I was a kid, you know, I got like 50-cent allowance for work, and you know, the figures then they was worth, you know, they was sold $2 basically. You know, that was hard for me to save up. You know, so it was show and tell one day at school, and I had a swamping behind the house, so I went and got some frog eggs, and I went show and tell with my buddy at school. He says, "I'll buy that for me $5." And he's gonna put them in his aquarium. So I got the idea. I can sell these things and buy Star Wars. So I took Ziploc bags down there, and I got frog eggs, put them in there, and I would take them to school. For about a month, everything was good until the parents started calling about all the tadpoles in their aquariums. And I got put out of business, but that's how I bought all these.
Yeah, I love the creativity and the inventiveness of you selling fish eggs or frog eggs to buy and fund your own personal collection.
Yeah.
And I love that you still have those figures here on display right next to the photo of, was that TV stand? There's a photo of a TV with all the figures, and you have the current figures laid out just like
The old tube TV. Yeah. I was right over at my parents' house.
That's great.
And when I was a kid, you know, I had an old softball, and I made my own TIE fighter.
So you took 2 pieces of plywood, cut it out to look like TIE fighter wings, and then nailed a baseball in the middle. And that's what you played with as a kid, not this exact one.
Not this exact one, but that's what it looked like. Yeah.
I love the creativity. That's great.
Thanks for getting all those interviews at the meetup today.
My pleasure.
That's such a horrible, horrible way to end it.
Next week we have the Swag King himself. All
Right,
hail
Narayan.
the Swag King.
That's a fun episode. If we actually recorded it like a month ago, and it's been in the can for a while,
Yeah.
so it'll be fun re-listening to that, because you'll hear it next week. Narayan is, and he is not the self-proclaimed the self-proclaimed Swag King. He's earned that title, and you know he's earned it, and he earns it fair. But oh my God, even the day him digging out all the swag was amazing.
Yeah. He loves it.
Yeah.
He loves making it. He loves sharing it.
Mhm.
And I've kind of
So
bit some of that. I've gotten bit by that bug a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to be like, I like making stuff. I mean, that's about it.
Mhm.
So I'll leave it at
Cool.
there.
Well, awesome. Jason, have a great rest of your evening.
You too.
This is the
This
way.
is the way.